especially if you are a Detroit Pistons fan. It's a brand new edition of the association. We are presented by Caesars Sportsbook. Mike Yam, Robin Lopez, and of course our coach, David Fizdale. All right, there's a lot to unpack. Pistons right now, a 2-0 series lead. If you are new to what we do here on the association in the postseason, as soon as the head coaches, as soon as the star players hit the podium, we'll bring you those press conferences. But I got to tell you, coming off of game number one, I felt like the Cavs could sit here and go, hey, we got a bunch of turnovers that led to points. There was a huge free throw disparity. Harden didn't look his best, but yet it was still close. It was a two-possession game with under a minute to go. We saw some adjustments here, Robin. It didn't matter, man. Like the Pistons, it just feels like they are mentally stronger.
Yeah, mentally and physically stronger. I think they're, you talked about how each of those categories you look at after a game, free throws, turnovers, rebounds. Detroit's winning that battle every single game.
Yeah, they're doing what they do, right? Like they just wear on you. And the big thing that I saw is not only do they wear on you on the defensive end and really pressure you and lean on you and all that, but they pick at your weakest link all night on the offensive end. Like they really do a good job of getting Cade against the worst matchup, and they just keep going at it. And so good that even when the ball swings around the perimeter and that same matchup is in a closeout, that guy that's catching the ball on the closeout knows to drive him. And so they're just constantly putting pressure on your weakest links and forcing you into rotations. And obviously the defense speaks for itself. They held them to 97 points.
Do you want to name check the weak link on the defense?
Tonight it was James Harden.
It was.
Yeah, they really targeted James Harden. They put him in every single situation possible. And they really, really went at him. And then obviously whoever was guarding Tobias Harris in the post tonight, they really settled their offensive game down through Tobias.
Yeah, the three of us are sitting there watching the game, and Coach just keeps saying they're picking on him, they're picking on him, they're picking on him. It felt like possession after possession.
It was. I started counting them, and then I lost count of them.
Yeah, not great. And look, the national conversation with regard to James Harden, we will have that here in just a couple moments. But the reality is this is a tough loss for a Cavaliers team that's going to try to figure things out as this series shifts back to Cleveland. Let's show you what transpired, though, in Detroit. You got two teams that were ideally trying to make some adjustments, more so from a Cavaliers perspective, coming off of that game number one loss. The fans in Detroit certainly excited for this one. Cade Cunningham looking like an absolute star in this postseason.
You know, when you got the best player, you usually got the best chance.
Yeah.
And he is the best player in this series. And I don't say that lightly because I got so much respect for Donovan and James, but this is Cade Cunningham's time.
Meanwhile, Duncan Robinson delivering, and he's been huge. You saw the three, then you got the layup. He was clutch in game number one. Spida dealing.
Ooh.
That's not good.
No, you got lucky.
Yeah, Tobias Harris, you could see.
Tweaked it.
Yep, he did. The good news for him, able to stay in the game. Keep it in this first. Mitchell off the mark.
Jenkins, man. How big has he been?
He's been incredibly huge.
Since Cade went out.
Yeah.
But he has just, he's risen. And you can see JB is playing him a lot more with Cade in the game, letting Cade get those live ball catches, playing him at the elbow, playing him in the post, and that gives him a real luxury. I mean, this kid can hoop.
Yeah, he totally can. Double-digit assists for Cade Cunningham. Pistons pushing that lead to 10 off of the three ball.
Tobias was cooking in that post today.
Oh, my goodness.
He had a good old Detroit backyard cookout. Everybody was invited.
Is the weather good enough in Detroit for that yet?
Goodness gracious. For Detroit people was good enough. For us, we might still be freezing, but folks in Detroit, this is beautiful.
Multiple layers. Jenkins, we showed you the offense in the first half. He had 11 points, 4 assists as well. One of those dimes to Duren. Transition. Mitchell trying to show up. It's a 7-point deficit off the bucket from Donovan Mitchell. Cade.
The hezzy freeze. Woo! And again, James Harden.
To be fair, James does that on the offensive side to a lot of teams.
He cooks a lot of people, for real. Look at this.
That's difficult.
He's fired up, and for good reason. 11 points in the third quarter for him. Cavs only down by 4.
Again, Cunningham, live ball catch in the post. It's hard to do that when you're bringing the ball up and doing all of that stuff, but Jenkins allows that.
You mentioned it all season long. When you're a secondary ball handler, they found that.
They found it in Jenkins.
Cavs able to cut that deficit to 1 off the Harden bucket. Jenkins, I turn to you, man. You know how many, we keep seeing these buzzer beater shots in the postseason.
This has been one of the most fun playoffs I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. Third buzzer beater in the series for Detroit. Had 2 of them the other night. Game number 1. Mitchell missed.
JB got on Durant's butt in that timeout over letting him get that rebound.
Next Cavs possession. Mobley.
Oh my goodness.
That's the lineup they're probably going to have to go with more if they want to win this series is Mobley at the 5.
They took a lead. I mean, that's their first lead since it was 3.
Yeah, that group went on the run. Strus at the 4 or Tyson at the 4, however you want to look at it.
Harris tied it at 81. Duncan Robinson makes it a 3-point lead.
Duncan is playing fearless basketball. I love how he's going to the basket. He's defending. He's starting fights.
It's nice when you can give him the good stuff.
Let me tell you what. Old Coach Fizz would be starting a lot of fights if I had Duran and Stewart and Thompson.
True.
Oh, I'd be fighting everybody.
Backing you up.
I'll punch you right in the stomach, Robin Lopez, and then run.
Smart man. Robinson another 3. 5th 3 of the game for him. And it's Cade.
On who?
Yep.
They just kept finding him. They're gonna have to find a way to keep Harden on his matchup and keep him as far away from Cade Cunningham as possible.
Harris.
He was cooking tonight in that post.
Extending that lead to 6. Harris in this game, 21 points. We showed you the injury. Good for the Detroit Pistons. Able to stay in this game. Cunningham, how about 25 for the star?
And when they wasn't going at Harden, they was going at Strus. So that you could tell, once you get in the playoffs, you can really tell that what teams are going to chip at, and make you respond and react to. So, at the end of the day, be real about it. Detroit did what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
We always hear that.
Serve.
You won the first 2 games at your home court. Cleveland's going back now. They lick their wounds. They regroup. They're on their home court, so it'll be interesting to see that one.
Cade Cunningham, double-double, becoming just the 4th player in NBA history to score at least 20 points in each of his first 15 playoff games, joining Kareem, LeBron, and Anthony Davis. That's a heck of a good list there. Donovan Mitchell, 31 for the Cavs. James Harden, 3 field goals, 4 turnovers. Check this out. It is the 30th playoff game in his career where he's got more turnovers than made field goals. That is a wild stat. We'll talk about that in a second, but here's Cade.
In this one, they battled back and took a lead early in the 4th quarter. How did you guys
on series, right? Like they're down 3-1. You guys know this from being in the league for as long as you have. People always use that phrase, styles make fights, and I think there's a lot to that. What does it say, though, Robin, as you watch this Pistons team look the way that they've done in these first 2 games? Now it is, 5 consecutive wins, 6 consecutive wins now in the postseason for them, that what we saw in Orlando might have just been a matchup issue for him.
Yeah, I remember when I was playing with the Bucks, and we had, Giannis, Chris Middleton. It was the year before they won the championship, and it was the pandemic year. I think we were on pace to win 60-some games that year. But the one team we couldn't beat was the Charlotte Hornets. And that was not this year's Charlotte Hornets.
No, that's right.
We would go into Charlotte and we would get waxed. So sometimes there are just those stylistic mismatches. But I mean, you look at the game like tonight, and Detroit just did every single thing right. I mean, they even won the 3-point shooting battle, and that's something the Cleveland Cavaliers pride themselves upon.
That's a great
Detroit
point.
hasn't been great at, and they dominated that edge of the matchup. So perhaps this is just a great matchup for them, but man, they're really taking advantage of it.
If Detroit can keep it close in the 3-point category at all, they usually win those games because their defense is just so rugged. They get so many stops. They just, like I said, they wear you down. And so if they can stay close in the 3-point department, that's their wheelhouse. And if you talk about the Orlando series, Orlando had the one thing that Detroit always has an advantage over everybody else. Orlando's tough. Suggs is one of the toughest dudes I've ever seen come into this league.
He's a football player.
Yeah, and they've hung their hat on the last 3 years under Coach Mose as being one of the tougher teams in the league. And so that
They don't get in your face, too.
yeah, and so when Detroit ran up against them with the healthy Franz, it was like, oh, this is different. This team is not going to back down. This team is meeting us at the line of scrimmage. They had to figure out a lot. And then obviously Franz going out, that doesn't hurt when you lose Franz Wagner. So, but once Detroit figures you out, they just keep going at it and going at it. Like, it's not complicated. And just knowing JB, it's a simplified thing, but he just wears on a spot until it's like picking a scab. Like
What?
he just picks up.
That's an old NBA chestnut, right?
Yep.
That play works, go back to it till they stop it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you spent some time with this Pistons team back in January. I want to get your take and how this team has really evolved during the course of the season. We'll do that in just a moment, but just getting to the podium right now, JB Bickerstaff, let's take a listen to what he had to say following a Pistons victory.
JB, you guys led most of the first half, obviously with